Going on to all of my Libras. So don't you worry about it. That video of Libra is coming out. Tell y'all what it is that I think, what it is that y'all can do to step your game up, all of that stuff. I'll make it tasteful, right? I'll make it tasteful. Because it's not to say that I dislike or or I really don't like Libras. Because sometimes, Libras are the ones that really come through and pull through for me. So, but don't worry about it. I'll make it tasteful. So you Libras got the Moon. You have the Seven of Cups. You have the Two of Swords, the Death card, the Page of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, the Hierophant, the Nine of Cups, and then you have the Chariot. So that's interesting. Some of you Libras have been doing the internal work. The Moon, you've been doing it, right? You've been coming up with certain answers. A lot of you have been changing, making that metamorphosis or that transformation, which is good. A lot of you Libras have actually been realizing that there are some things that you can do to kind of change your disposition. All right, change what's happening, change the fact that a lot of you, right? Because it's kind of messed up that a zodiac sign that is ruled by the planet that represents love can't find it, or it's very difficult to find it. And a lot of you Libras have been realizing that there are some things about yourselves that you can work out, that you can change, right? The over talking, the talking a lot, the talking too much. Libra is a zodiac sign where you won't necessarily get in the word in edgewise, especially when Libras want to talk. And that's cool as far as if you want to share information, right? Like if you want to put people on and y'all talking about something, anybody would be lucky to have you Libras tell them some stuff, right? Especially if it's some real deal stuff, real on point, you're putting people on game type stuff. People, you're using that gift of gab that you can have, or some of you do have, to really help people help themselves, put themselves in a position that works for them. But when you Libras decide that y'all want to be on some talkative type stuff and y'all ain't really talking about anything, and then you get to judging people and being super judgmental because you think, you know a lot. And I'm not saying that you don't, but what I'm saying is that, but then when you think you know everything, that's the thing that a lot of you Libras are starting to realize that you should know that you can change. And then the thing is that the Seven of Cups represents how this is a situation for a lot of you where you realize that that stuff would get a lot of people upset and kind of discontent with you, but also it's a representation of how you also understand that what you've also got going on is you Libras also need to be in a position where you learn how to choose people that you're getting to know a lot better as well. Looking for the correct things to look for. A lot of times people come out here, they get selective, and the selectivity, or them being more selective, is more about financial things, right? Money equates to being good, right? When what being good really means is being stand up and having standards and having value and being able to adapt and not being ignorant and not being so stuck in one place that you can't change. That's what being good really means. It means being stand up, regardless of who you are, right? And as a result, a lot of people, you've noticed that the ones that you've interacted with, or I should say the ones your picking process was more so financial, because Libra, to be fair, Libra does represent the finer things in life. The extravagant things, paintings, right? Artwork, fashion, beauty, things of this nature. So whatever looks fly and extravagant and disgustingly rich, that's what Libra represents. It's the glitz and the glamour, the diamonds in one, as far as the look of it. The value of it is Capricorn, but the look of it is Libra. And then you have the thing is that you have the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords is about, now you realize that you should have never have rocked with those people in the first place. And you were very unwise to engage with these people. The Death card here represents the next thing for you is that you're putting an end to all of that thought process to do what? A lot of you Libras are putting an end to that thought process to make a better change, to make a change, to actually start getting to the relationships that you want, that you really hold inside. Because one thing that I noticed about Libras is Libras have that relationship that they want, but they don't really ever tell anybody. They just kind of keep their mouth shut about it, because while they're on the move day to day, because they're on the lookout, and that's cool. I'm not saying for you not to do that, but what I'm saying for you or what I'm suggesting is you should make this change. For the ones who decided they're not going to do that, you should, because it'll do you a solid. You're doing yourself a favor by doing that. The Page of Pentacles is understanding that you need to come to a relationship with value. It's not always just about what, the glitz and the glamour and the extravagant stuff that looks disgustingly rich, right? Where it's about, gold toilet seat, or like, or the finest clothes, or the finest curtains in your home, or something like this, right? You realize that it's about more than that, right? And the financial equity or the financial investment should be there. Obviously you should want money, but that should not be the only ruler or measuring stick for what is considered upstanding. And a lot of you Libras are starting to learn that. But the Two of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords is, but you may not necessarily know where to look. You may not even know where to begin. Well, I can say to you Libras, you shouldn't really be worried about it. Shouldn't be. Because you shouldn't be worried about it due to the fact that you're worrying. Okay. You figured out that there's something wrong, but you shouldn't be worried about it, because in one aspect, it's the past. You can't change the past. What you should be doing now is looking towards the future, right? Air signs deal with future events anyway, or the potential of something anyway. So you Libras being an air sign, deal with the potential of your future. Deal with taking the steps now so you can actually start cementing what you Libras want to actually see in your future, the type of relationship that you want. One of the things that you should be looking for, right, is, because you do know where to start, you're just doubting yourself. One of the things that you should be looking for, Libras, is to see if the person has decency. I've said this before. Character is what it is that you should be looking for. I gotta hurry up and make that video talking about character, because too many people like to act like that's not a thing. And they're like, oh, well, I'm dating. Yeah, but what about their character though? Huh? Wrong. Should always date for a person's character first and foremost. If it doesn't start with character, it's incorrect. And there's no exception to that. Why? Because what if the person has a whole lot of money, but they treat you like crap? Put their hands on you. Didn't keep their hands to themselves. So if, put it like this, if you stay in that situation, you compromise your own value, because what it says is that you allowed someone to do that type of stuff because they had financial, you thought that you had something to financially gain, And this person knows that. And that's the reason why they kept pushing the boundaries, is because they're trying to also see on one aspect how far you're willing to go, as opposed to a person who has character, Hierophant, as opposed to a person who has character. It's so wild. Whenever it is that I'm talking about a particular situation, there's always a card to demonstrate what I'm talking about. If you had any kind of uprightness about you, right, like the Hierophant, you wouldn't even accept that type of relationship dynamic. You would look at that, no matter how much money they had, you would be like, yeah, I'm out. Why? Nah, it's not worth that. It's not worth my decency. No, it's not worth my soul. So the thing is that the Nine of Cups and the Chariot the Nine of Cups represents, if you take that route of self-respect, which I see a lot of you Libras doing, then you should be here, taking your time to understand what's going on with you, so that you can heal from your given situation, because you don't want to run yourselves into a relationship that is dysfunctional. You don't want that, right? No one should really want that, really. But let's clarify the Hierophant. Yeah, I said it right. Let's clarify the Hierophant. Okay, cool. The Seven of Pentacles, Five of Cups, Eight of Swords, Nine of Swords. Seven of Pentacles, it was never equal footing. You want love, but what you got in past relationships was disrespect. And you may have disrespected other people as well. But the point is that the dynamic was never what you wanted it to be. It was never the real deal. It was never actually love. The Five of Cups, a lot of strife. And you ended up leaving that situation, and there was strife on the other end of that too. But you understood that the short-term sadness was better than long-term staying with dysfunctional people. The Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is you understanding that what you need to do now is rebuild, but also create some boundaries, some better placed boundaries. The sword doesn't just defend yourself with it, right, against attackers or something like this. The sword also represents marking a boundary as well, because the sword is an indication, right? The sword is an indication of where a person, you don't want a person to go. Basically, you're claiming personal space. And the sword is a very good tool to mark where your boundaries are, spiritually, of course, because it represents that you need to understand where your boundaries are and what you're willing to put up with and what you're not willing to put up with. That's one thing that a lot of people really don't understand. It's not necessarily about what it is that you say yes to. It's actually more about what it is that you say no to if you're going to be out here dating. And that just doesn't necessarily apply to just dating. That deals with everything else. Because what you say no to, you create a demarcation line, which is a boundary to what you would say yes to. Because if you're willing to put up with anything, because see, doing anything and doing anything that's necessary is two different things. Doing anything means you don't have any standards and decency, what you will and what you won't do. You'll do anything. Doing anything that is necessary gives it more definition, because now it means that you're willing to do things because you're serious about getting a result of something without having to sacrifice or give up your soul in the process. You will not do certain things, and it already is baked into the cake of that. The Nine of Swords now represents, however, though, you have to get a real high level of experience and understanding in order for you to actually start knowing what your boundaries are. And a lot of you Libras as much it is that y'all love, y'all are not very experienced when it comes to relationships. So comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. If you'd like to contact me for a personal reading, the link to my website in which you can look at all of my services and pay for my services, the link to that, the link to my book on Amazon, and the link to my Instagram page where you can follow me on other social media platforms are all in the description, but they're also in the comment section below in the pinned comment post. Also, too, trying to get this YouTube channel to 3,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, set the notification bell to all so you can get notified whenever I drop these videos. Peace.